Oh, bless me. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. I don't know what to do. You asking me? Why are you asking me? It is what it is, and it do what it do. Did you watch Legend recently? No, I just like that line a lot. You, me, all of us be barbecue. Barbecue? Big Gabe. Big Gabe, dude. Holy fuck. Big Gabe is here. Everybody fucking lay the fuck down. Lay down. Lay on the ground flat. Big Gabe is here. I don't know if you saw it. Big Gabe is here. I saw it. Or saw it. Bolo tie? No. Bolo tie is lame, dude. My grandpappy wore a bolo tie, dude. You gotta grow up. You gotta grow out of the bolo tie. What would you be doing if YouTube never worked out for me? What I was doing before YouTube. Working normal jobs, getting by, working hard for the money. Like, people got to readjust their shit with me, man. I ain't in the same position as a lot of, like, internet folks who just, like, jumped on as fresh-faced 20-year-olds and have never made their money any other goddamn fucking way. It seems to be, like, a very spooky question for a lot of, like, content creators. To me, it's just, like, asking me, like, when's the last time you took a shit, you know? It's routine. Routine. What the fuck is going on? Hello? YouTube, can you send out the notifications, please? Boy, that sure would be nice. If a notification or two would go out. When's the last time I took a shit? 1997. It was a cold morning, I remember, in November of all months. And I shat. I shit the shat, I shat the shit. The year you were born. Son, is that you? Thought I lost you when I absent-mindedly flushed. It's 9 p.m. on a Saturday night, though. People probably working or chilling. Give it about 20 minutes. We'll see how many people are working or chilling. It's definitely YouTube. Definitely YouTube. I had a dude come in. I did one of these earlier today. I had a dude come in 45 minutes into the show and be like, I just got my notification. 45 minutes, bro. At that point, most streams are wrapping up. $45 goddamn fucking minutes. YouTube is doling out these things. Biden farted in front of the Duchess of Cornwall. So he shit himself in front of the Pope and then farted on a Duchess? Based? Based? Maybe? I'm thinking like that might be pretty based. You farted on a Duchess? Like TJ farted in that old lady's face, yeah. Oh my God, man. We just did the greatest show today. I don't even want to ruin it. Well, I mean, I guess I'm kind of ruining it, bringing it up so quickly after we just jumped onto farts as a topic. But man, TJ sprung that one on me. It was a TJ-sode, and we did farts as a topic. And I'm literally sore because I laughed through most of the shit. Like we did like a probably hour and a half long show today for the patrons, and I don't stop laughing through the whole thing. It's an hour and a half of me laughing. I was the audience for this show. Yeah, it'll be a while. TJ farting in a granny's face is out of bounds. Hell no, dude. Fart right in somebody's fucking face. Dude, one thing I love about farts is that they're simultaneously taken like as a joke and simultaneously are some of the most serious shit. You can't, nothing is like a fart, bro. Nothing on this planet has the like range of emotional reactions that you can elicit with a fart. Dude, you can make people laugh with a fart. You can make people cry with a fart. You can touch off a fucking war. Touch off a riot with the right fart aimed at the right face. Man, I fucking love farts, bro. I'm not just a fart aficionado, bro. I fucking love farts. Farts are the greatest thing that humanity does. The great equalizer, man. The great equalizer. The first and last joke you ever tell is a fart. Think about that. You come into this world capable of telling only one joke, and that's ripping a little baby fart, right? And then when you go out of this world, the last thing that happens to a lot of people when they die is they fart. All those muscles unclench and all that, nothing's holding in the fart anymore. And it just... First and last joke you tell. Fart. You know that, like, in human history, if you take all of human history, right? Not just recorded history, but just like you go all the way back to the beginning. I wouldn't be shocked if like 100,000 people in the history of humanity have been killed over a fart. Think about it. Maybe I'm way lowballing that too. It might be like 500,000. Think about how many people have, for one reason or another, died because of a fart. Probably a lot. Very consequential body, you know what I mean? Body function, farting. You never know what you're going to get, Farts. Lovely, wonderful farts. Glorious, triumphant farts. Wicked, naughty farts. Yeah, dude, if snake's got a fart, I think pretty much any kind of like sufficiently complex organism's got a fart. You know what I mean? You gotta equalize the pressure. You know, you eat stuff and it makes gases. You gotta vent that gas somewhere. Nah, a fart is not just shit in gas form, like a lot of people think. It's not aerosolized shit. It's a very specific chemical. It's not methane like most people think. There is trace methane in a lot of people's farts, but what really makes it stink is the same thing that makes a rotten egg stink. But I can't remember the name of it. Something oxide or something. Sulfur oxide, is that what it is? I don't know. Stinky, stinky butt farts is what it is. Yeah, it's something like that. Stinks like a fart, you know? Stinks like a shit. Sulfur dioxide. Oh, my bad. My bad, homie. My bad. Well, excuse me. Couldn't you catch on fire if you fart in outer space? No. What makes you think that? Oh. Yada yada. I'm just wild about Harry, and Harry's wild about me. The never-ending blisses of his kisses fill me with ecstasy. He's just as sweet as cotton candy, and just like honey from a bee. Oh, I'm just wild about Harry, and he's just wild about me. How's the housing market looking? They don't fucking ask me questions, bro. Don't ask me no fucking questions, man. I don't know. How is it looking? Man, I'm tired of even pretending that I understand shit. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, dude. I don't understand a fucking thing when it comes to money. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to properly handle that shit. I don't know where to put it. I don't know when to take it, when to give it. I'm lucky I'm just not in debtor's prison somewhere or some shit. I'm lucky I don't have much debt at all. I managed to pay my bills my whole life accidentally. I don't do well with money. It's not tangible to me. Like, you know what matters to me is like the stuff that's here, the people that are here, but like the money that it takes to run all this shit, I I just don't know. I don't know how to make it work for me better. I really don't. I feel kind of stupid sometimes, but money is like, it occupies this part of my, like this one little sliver of my brain. And I feel like a lot of people, it occupies like a huge chunk of their brain, or that it's plugged into all these other parts of their brain. And for me, it's this separate little thing. And if it all went away, the world really wouldn't change for me. I think it would change for a lot of people, but for me, like, but it makes me stupid. Like it's not a good thing to feel that way about money, dude. You need that, like, people that can fucking jockey money. Like, think about this shit. I want you guys to really think about this, right? I'm a worker, right? So I've worked pretty much solidly since I was 16 years old. Take all of the money that I spent on frivolity, right? During those times. And if I would have taken that money and saved it up, $100 a paycheck or some shit, and then put all that money into Google or something, or put all that money into fucking Tesla, or put all that money into fucking, Amazon before it blew, I would be a fucking multimillionaire right now. And that's all it is a difference between how I chose to fucking spend my money. So I, being the simple jack motherfucker that I am, you make me happy. I fucking just take the money and I fucking, I don't do anything with it. I leave it sitting in my bank account where it doesn't grow. Or I take a trip or something, you know what I mean? Or I bought a house years ago, and it's just like, man, if I'd have taken that money that I spent on that house and invested it in fucking Amazon back then, I'd be a multimillionaire. And that's what I'm talking about. You have to be good with money. You can make so much less than I do and be way richer than me. And that's the thing that fucks me off about money. Because I feel like innately some people just figure it out. You know what I mean? They're like, I got it. And they invest their first goddamn dollar, and by the time they're 22, they're multimillionaires and they're retired. And they literally don't have to worry about money anymore. They're in the position that, most of us are envious of. And to be frank, most of us would be better off in. But yeah, no, I'm not a lot of it is luck and a lot of it isn't. You got to understand, man, there's a gambling aspect. I think a lot of what small investors do with the stock market is gambling. But what the big players in the stock market do, you can't call that gambling. It's guaranteed returns. It's like betting both ends of the spectrum, knowing when to pull your money, knowing what the signs in the marketplace are, where it's time to sell, it's time to buy. Yeah, you take a bath once in a while, but overall, the people that are really good at this shit are up, 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 up. That's not gambling. That's just gaming the system. That's understanding the machinations of the system and using every little piece of information that you understand to track the trends and, jump on it. I've never really done much investment. I can't remember if I've ever purchased a stock. I don't think I've ever purchased a stock. Other than like the automatic purchases that happen with your like 401k and shit. I've had a 401k before, so there was definitely somebody making purchases of stock for me. But as far as me going like, you know what? I got a couple $100 saved up. I'm going to throw that down on some Toyota or, whatever. Like, I've never done it. And there are a couple of times in my life where had I done it, I would be in a position where money was not a problem. Like, I wouldn't have to worry about a single fucking thing. I could have taken a Starbucks level salary and turned it into multi-million dollars and been fine. Be sitting here 40 years old, you wouldn't know who I am. 41 now. Jesus. You wouldn't know who I am. I'd be sipping a fucking goddamn Mai Tai on a beach somewhere. You know what I mean? It's just strange. That's what I don't like about money, the volatility of it. I think that's what makes me adverse to learning how to... I feel like that there's too much power in something so ethereal. You know? Because goddamn, if it can give you that kind of wealth, it can take it, right? And so, man, I'd just rather go with the stability of knowing I got $1 in my pocket. You know what I mean? It's right there. And that dollar tomorrow will be $1. Tomorrow. Any advice on getting girls? No. There's a machine-mindedness to this. It's like a lot of us see news stories, but people that are really good with money, they see investment opportunities, right? And so it's like, I remember months ago, probably like a year ago or more, we covered this like kind of ongoing and now deepening shortage in the supply chain, especially for like circuit boards and chips and CPUs, right? And to me, that was just like, whoa, that's crazy. But to a money-minded person, that was like, I'm gonna take every dollar I can limber up today, and I'm gonna put it in Nvidia, because people are gonna be knocking down Nvidia's door, screaming for their fucking product. They're not gonna be able to make it fast enough. You know what I mean? That's where you put your money. And if I, like I said, if I'd have put like 20 grand in Nvidia when that happened, limbered up 20 grand somehow, put it in Nvidia, I'd be a multimillionaire today. It drives me nuts. Well, here's some solid ethereal cash, sir. Thank you. Thoughts on the Travis Scott deaths? There's going to be some lawsuits, and in my opinion, Travis Scott, the management of that event, the security company that handled that event, pretty much anybody that was involved in the design, conception, and carrying out of that event directly and at a high level should probably face some prison time and shit. That's just straight up criminal fucking negligence what happened. And if you've never been to a big goddamn fucking concert, you have to understand, man, there is a huge impetus on these venues to make sure that people don't end up dying the way they died last night. And think about that, man. That's got to be one of the most terrifying, horrible, awful ways to go out of this fucking planet, being trampled by people, screaming for help, and nobody's listening, and you just get stepped on, crushed. And there's no excuse. There really is no excuse. When somebody dies like that, there's no excuse, man. I've been to concerts where they literally shut that motherfucker down. No joke, man. You can probably find some videos of people doing it. But I'm telling you, man, like the people going like, oh, man, what a tragedy. It's another one of these fucking tragedies that isn't a tragedy. It's negligence. 8 people were killed in a crowd crush at Astrofest last night. 8 at one concert during one set. 8 people. There's going to be some lawsuits. Because I'm just telling you, man, like, I don't know about you guys, but I've been to a number of shows where, somebody spotted something in the crowd. The fucking talent gets it in their earpiece, like, hey, there's somebody having trouble in the crowd. You need to stop the show. And the fucking talent will literally like, hey, whoa, 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 bring it down, bring it down. We got somebody out here passed out. I need everybody to everybody calm down. Let's bring it down. We got a person in trouble. Let's get them off the floor safely. Everybody be safe. You know what I mean? I've had that happen at multiple fucking concerts of different sizes. And so there's no excuse. No excuse. Zero excuse. When you were younger, did you ever feel competitive with your peers in terms of education and money around 18 years old? No. I've never felt competitive with money at all. Like, to me, that's just not I don't know. I'm not driven by that. I'm not saying that, like, I'm going to turn down money if it comes across me. I understand the value of money, at least in a basic sense, but, you know, it's not where I place my value. Well, I mean, in some ways, I can't blame people for that fucking mentality. When you understand the power and mobility and freedom and safety that money gives you in our society, it makes a whole lot of sense to me that there are people out there that are really fucking chomping at the bit to make that happen for themselves. And, you know, I can't really stand in too harsh a judgment of people who are money-minded. But I can't make myself do that, man. I can't make myself be that way. Have you ever dated a rich girl? Not really. One of the people that I dated had a family that was well off, but there wasn't like, well, I guess, kinda. See, it's just another one of those things that I never really thought about, but now thinking back on it, like in comparison to the average household, one of the ladies that I dated her family was pretty well off, and you know, I don't know. If I were a rich man. Yeah, dude, definitely bitty bitty bum status. I feel like starting a fire. So I'm gonna do it. I have the impulse to start a fire, and so I'm gonna put you guys in my pocket. Get some kindling for the fire. It's a lot out here now. Through the summer, so there's tons and tons and tons of light. It's wonderful. You know, you can hear it crisping now. That dry eucalyptus bark and dry leaves. Cornucopia of wonderful, wonderful fire starting materials. All day long I'd bitty bitty bum. If I would always be man. Do, 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 do. have to work hard. I feel like might need more. I might need one more trip. It was kind of a puny first trip. Oh yeah, getting crispy. Put on this side of the tree. This shelf. Man, there's still some embers in there from my fire this morning. It's smoldering. It's crazy. Probably not this section. So a bit of viable coals. There we go. Now we just need logs. Like 4 logger tonight. Start with that. 4 logger. Dos. Trois. Fear. Okay. Two, 3 and a 4. That's a pretty good little start. Boy, there it goes. Higher, higher, burning fire, making music like a choir. Higher, higher, burning fire, making music like a choir. That's better. No, we got some snap and some crackle and some pop. Could kind of see through your pocket. Oh. Oh. Ah. Yep, some marshmallows. Some marshmallows and some chocolates. Train, go away. Fuck out of here. Shoo. Did you ever troll CB radio again if you could? I think I could get in more trouble than your average person because I've already got a record with the FCC. You know? they'd probably look back at my fucking shit and go like, hey, this kid was investigated back in 1996 for doing this same shit. He definitely knows better, see? So I gotta be even more careful. My name's on the list somewhere. As a violator of the public airwaves. Does anyone even use CB radio anymore? Yeah, not really. Only just like truck drivers, the military, amateur radio operators, you know, professional drivers of all stripes, local law enforcement, you know. Basically, everybody that used to use CB still uses it. I don't think the military would use CB. Yeah, you're probably right. Not for, like, you know, tactical shit. Free Ted Kaczynski so he can send Jeff Bezos a letter. Whoa, buddy. Whoa, buddy. Sure. Yeah, there's different frequencies and shit. But if you've got the right kind of tuner, you can tune into those frequencies. See, I had a broad spectrum tuner. And I knew better back when I was a kid to, you know, say anything on police traffic channels or whatever the fuck. There were definitely channels that were for general public use and channels that weren't. Like I remember there was like a local emergency only channel, and then there was a police band that I could listen in on. I don't know. Short range, yeah, CB short range, yeah, short range. So for sure, it wasn't like short wave, but I had a big, tall antenna. Yeah, I had a base station CB with like a big fucking 30-foot antenna or whatever the fuck. Fun. Till the FCC got involved. Can pick up Russia on shortwave. That's neat. Why is Little View banned from the chat? He's asking me. I don't know. I didn't ban Little View, so Little View will have to figure that out for Little View's self. Why did you ever have this radio? Wasn't it your dad's? So the first CB radio that I talked on was in a friend's dad's truck. So one of my friend's dads worked for the Forestry Service, had a little Ford F-150 that had, you know, an aerial on it. so he would get CB channels and shit, but it was relatively like weak. So we could, we weren't broadcasting very strongly. And I got into it, and basically, like, my parents were kind of aware what I was doing with it, but they were not aware to the extent at which I was misusing it. And so they looked at it as kind of a neat little hobby for me. It was like something I was very interested in, clearly. And CB equipment at that time in the 90s and shit wasn't exactly like super fucking expensive. It was pretty old technology. So I remember I can't remember what birthday it was, probably my 14th birthday, my 13th birthday maybe. My dad got me a base station CB radio and a 30-foot aerial that he put up on the side of the house. And that gave me pretty wide range, like on the CB side of things. You can't reach super far with a CB, but
harass everyone in town.
Yeah. Everybody in town and everybody within like a 20-mile radius of town. So anybody that got within 20 miles of me got a ration of shit until they got 20 miles away.
So really you had them for 40 miles.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah, entering the radius.
Sure.
Exiting,
radius. Sure, yeah. But yeah. Once it was just like the proto-internet. Like if they would have studied me at that age and what I was doing on the internet or on the CB radio, they would have seen the future of the internet reflected in what was going on. It was like a key got unlocked in my head. It was like the first few times we used it, I remember my friend explaining to me what it was. Oh yeah, this is what the truckers used to talk to each other's radio. You could talk, and to me that was so novel. The ability, because for me, talking remotely was 100% a phone thing, and you could direct dial one person. But this was, I could press this button, and everybody within a certain radius, no matter what, if they were tuned in, could hear what I was saying. It was like, for me, that was like being a radio broadcaster or something. Like, it got to my head real quick. I was probably about 10 or 11 years old, too, so that didn't help. On the verge of pubescence and shit. Yeah. So, and then but at first it was something I did very respectfully, because it was just like, oh my God, the weight of what I'm doing. I'm saying something and like hundreds of people possibly could be hearing what I'm saying. But then it clicked with me. They don't know the fuck I am. They don't know where I am. I can say whatever the fuck I want to them and they can't do shit about it. And that was it. That one little notion ran wild.
Yeah, you were born a troll that day.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, I was already a troll. I was just waiting for a venue.
That was your fucking...
My little taste of that fucking power that comes with anonymity, dude. And you know what the funny thing was? I didn't even actually have it. Because, like I said, I was tracked down twice. So it's like on the CB, it's not like somebody can like drive around and see if your internet signal gets stronger or weaker. And, that's what I was tracked twice. And I didn't learn. Did you have any radio hosts you really liked as a kid? I listened to, you guys are going to fucking laugh at me. I listened to a lot of Rush Limbaugh when I was a kid. Say what you want about the dude. The guy had a pretty amazing broadcast cadence. And he was probably the dude that I listened to that made me appreciate broadcasting as a medium, because you have to have a really, really great voice to keep people listening to you with no visual, and especially to run a talk show. It's one thing to be a disc jockey where all you have to do is be charismatic for 5-second, 10-second bursts. You know what I mean? Like, this dude was sitting and talking for an hour every day.
Yeah, it's like whatever your opinion is of them, you got to give them credit for the craft.
I mean, people asked, and so that was a radio host that I really liked as a kid. My dad listened to him, and I looked up to my dad like every little boy does. And so it's like, my dad also listened to a comedy duo out of LA named Bob and Tom. And they were pretty good. I remember as a kid laughing at a lot of they were like a morning zoo kind of comedy show. I listened to Howard Stern starting in my teen years. I think in around '93, Howard Stern came to like my part of California, syndicated out, and got onto a radio station that I could catch. So I liked Howard Stern. I liked Dr. Drew Pinsky and Adam Carolla on Loveline. I listened to them for countless fucking hours. So I would say those were probably the 4 biggest kind of like broadcast influences when I was young. But I always looked up to radio dudes, broadcasters of that nature, more than I looked up to like movie stars and shit. Like, to me, they were more important than movie stars were. Definitely like sparked a fascination in me to kind of do something like that, you know, sit and talk for hours on end and develop your ability to do so. There's a talent to it for sure. And I really do think too, and I hate to doom it out, and I don't want to go to full doomer spiral on you guys, but I really think these analog communication methods are going to make a huge comeback. So some of you might want to start looking into them now, and some of you money-minded people might want to start investing in the companies that'll be making that equipment and shit, because I'm telling you, man, I have a feeling that there is going to be a movement towards analog broadcasting. There's going to be a resurgence of amateur and professional analog broadcasting, separate from the internet. Why? Because, well, here's why. There's a number of reasons why. Number one, the infrastructure of the internet may just not be sustainable. Like, we are used to having that utility pretty much 24/7, but if things continue to degrade, there are going to be less people to repair the lines, and there might be outages of weeks for people for the internet. So there's that. That's the doomer kind of angle. Another angle is I'm not the only person that feels a little creeped out on the fucking internet. I know it's typically people in my age range, but I've talked to, a lot of younger people. My audience consists of mostly people that are like 15 to 20 years my fucking junior, right? And a lot of the people that I talk to feel the same way about the internet. They're flippant about it. It's becoming less and less of a novelty. And I'm thinking, like, generationally, people are going to long for genuine connection again. And so I'm thinking those twin kind of influences in society, the probable degradation of internet infrastructure, and the continued uptick in, constant surveillance and monitoring and ad targeting of every fucking thing you say and do on the internet, is going to push some people towards more traditional ways of connecting with people over distance. It's going to broaden people's interests in ways of communicating without maybe directly identifying who you are, because say what you want on the internet, to your average Joe, you might be, Whoopee Cushion Jones or whatever. But if anybody with power really wants to know who Whoopee Cushion Jones is, your name is all over it. Whereas, if you key up on a CB fucking radio and you're smart about how and when you do it, you can fucking keep in contact with people. And yeah, dude, the quote unquote people you're organizing against can monitor your fucking station, but they can't track you down. I could see that happening, but they've got their hooks in my generation and the young generation already, unless we get burnt out on it in like 20 to 30 years. Well, that's the thing, is like, you make a lot of assumptions because we're living in a generation now that was literally basted in the internet. This is the millennials are the first generation that came along where the internet was already a utility by the time they were old enough to use it, and they just expect it. So you've got millennials, you got Gen Z, right? There is a drift in these generations in interests and technology and the mediums that people prefer. And to say that the internet is going to be this preferred medium for everybody, I mean, look at how boomerish the internet is getting. Look at Facebook. Facebook in just a scant, 15 years has gone from being the hippest shit where everybody's on it, and if you're not on it, you're nobody, to like literal boomer town. You know what I mean? And you don't think that's going to continue to happen? People are going to slowly but surely, as the internet becomes more and more conglomerated, because make no bones about it, that's what's happening. The places for you to go to have a platform and express yourself are being conglomerated under ever larger internet and tech companies. And so, you know, the choices that you have are going to be so insanely limited, and the amount of control and surveillance that's going to be possible and ongoing. I genuinely believe there's going to be a fucking generation of people that comes along and opts out of this shit. Maybe not totally, but a good enough chunk of the generation is going to opt out of this shit that those types of analog methods are going to become useful to them again.
Yeah, it's like the decline of newspapers.
Right.
People went from like everyone's got a daily paper to I might look at the Sunday.
Right. When I was a kid, dude, everybody on my block got the newspaper every day. Okay. My mom hasn't gotten the newspaper for 5 years. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so it's just like even the older generation can see massive swings in the way that people consume information and communicate with one another. And so, yeah, there's definitely going to be like a hipstery angle to it for sure. I think that's how it'll start. It'll start with like, man, this old cool CRT television technology and this old VCR technology and Betamax technology is cool. You're already starting to see that. You know, tons of video games and tons of movies are using this lo-fi aesthetic. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, scan lines. People, that's cool now. You know, and so that's a good sign right now that even this generation is having a resurgence and interest in these analog methods. And one major part of those analog methods was broadcast radio, ham radio, and CB radio. You know, and those things have kind of been like, dude, you ask a fucking Zoomer about any of that shit, they've never heard of it. But I genuinely believe that technology is still out there, still viable, still fucking attainable, still usable by anybody. And I genuinely believe there's going to come a time where the internet is so fucking conglomerated that there's going to be a significant chunk of a generation that just opts. They're just like, fuck this shit. This is what my parents did. My parents sit around jerking off on fucking TikTok all day. I'm not doing that. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, what am I gonna do? Go argue with somebody on fucking Twitter? You know, like there's the fact that we already see it, that is a significant chunk of people over a broad spectrum of age have already started to get like, you know, whatever. I'm gonna limit my diet to this internet shit. It's just, I think that there's gonna be a movement towards it. I mean, it's a boomer idea. I don't know. But I'm definitely not the only person that thinks it. Not the only person considering it a possibility. I think the total collapse of society will happen before some opting of the internet. The total collapse of society is happening. And it's going to take maybe 100 years, maybe 150 years. Like, you realize that the Roman Empire collapsed over the course of like 85, 90 years, right? That's like 2 generations of people. I might be being generous. Like, who knows? But if you were listening at the beginning of this topic, that is one of the reasons why I thought that this technology was going to become useful again. Because once again, what are some of the things they're going to go if things start to unravel? Electric service, internet service, telecommunications, all of that shit is going to be spotty and unavailable in some places. What are people going to turn to? What never goes down as long as you've got a Jenny to power it? Your fucking CB. Start a CD collection. I wouldn't recommend it. If you're going to collect music, do yourself a favor and collect vinyl. Vinyl has a very natural, warm tone to it that's actually worth listening to music on. CD quality music is actually shit. It sounded worse than tapes. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Get a little older if you want to make a music collection. Yep. Yeah, you can hang your vinyls. Yeah, you can put them in alternate sleeves so you can use the actual vinyl, and then you could put the awesome cover art up on your walls. You really think we have a good 100 left in us? I didn't say a good 100. I just said 100 years before what we think of as baseline society is fully collapsed. I didn't say it was going to be a good 100 years. I just said that sounds about right to me. Given the timetables I've heard for some of the major events that are on the horizon, the big crush of people from the central and southern parts of the world that become uninhabitable, crushing north and south, so that mass migration crisis, coupled with the obvious and looming economic crises, coupled with the changing of the guard from the United States to China and as the global leading kind of technology and social leader, like that type of shit is going to take some time. Anyone doubts Paul's politics, look to the G20 summit leaders tossing a coin in the fountain wishing well for climate change. We can't hedge our bets with the liberals. You're right. You are correct. Yeah, that's the scariest thing that I know about climate change, is that all of the climate scientists from my younger years were wrong. Not about what was going to happen, but about how fast it was going to happen. So back in the 90s, they thought, oh, we got 150 years. If we don't get on top of this, 150, 200 years, the world could be mostly uninhabitable. The oceans could be acidified in 200 years. And now they've revised that, and they've gone like, oh, we really kind of didn't crunch those numbers right. It's looking more like 35 years. Huh? Sure.
Yeah. Water from earlier?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you, baby. I'm ready for the big ride, baby. Thank you, baby. Man, you should have been born earlier. I don't know what to tell you, man. Born in the wrong generation. Whoops. Sorry, guys. My generation and the ones that came before it accidentally fucked up the planet. Whoops. Our bad. But don't worry, we'll all be dead before it really gets bad. So, you know, justice and all that. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Whoops-a-daisy, we accidentally fucked up the world. But take solace in the fact that all of us will die privileged and well air-conditioned. And it's just you, when you get to my age, that'll have to deal with it. Sorry. Whoops-a-daisy. I'm sorry, man. The plastic was just too fucking convenient. The gasoline smelled too goddamn good when it spilled a little bit on you. You know what I mean? You get that smell? Oh, yeah. Gasoline. It smelled too good. The burritos were too tasty. Think weed will ever become normalized like cigarettes? It's already happened. Go visit Los Angeles. It's already happened. People walk up and down the streets just smoking spliffs in LA all the time. Already happened, bro. Just a matter of time for the rest of the world to catch up. Do you have a choice whether or not to use plastic, though? I mean, yeah, if I'm honest with you, kinda, yeah. I could buy, instead of buying a plastic gallon of milk all the way through my childhood and young adulthood, I could buy the fucking wax paper carton milk, which is not tons better, but it's still better for the environment than a big giant plastic jug. I've probably thrown fucking 500 plastic jugs of milk in the garbage in my time. That's probably undercutting it. Thousands of gallons of milk, maybe. So yeah, I had the goddamn fucking choice. With some of it, like I always had the choice to bring a couple of my own like little vinyl tote bags or whatever to the grocery store, but did I ever do it? No. I always had the choice to fucking not eat at McDonald's and have it like, you know, a ton of waste plastic come from my meal, but I did it anyway. Dude, I can't even imagine. See, this is what blows my mind. I try and think back over my life, right? How much plastic waste have I, just me, as one American, produced? I bet if they piled it all up in front of me, I'd probably die of a heart attack. I bet it would be a mountain of trash. Maybe not a mountain, but like a fucking foothill of trash. Just me. It's unfathomable, dude. So sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. We kind of ruined the world. Oops. Our bad. I haven't been to a landfill since I was a kid, but I gotta tell you, dude, the first time I went with my parents to a landfill, I was fucking shocked. Literal mountains of trash, bro. A whole landscape made of nothing but compressed garbage. Holy fuck. That's what the world is gonna look like, by the way. When a virus or atomic war or both or starvation or climate change or, you know, just mounting disaster wipes us off the face of this planet, that's what we'll leave it looking like. It's going to be 10,000 years of plastic bags blowing in the wind, big giant plastic chunks of shit Just husks of our fucking buildings and our cars. Think of it, dude. Yeah, Wall-E Earth. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I mentioned so many different ones. A lot of people think, like, what's it going to be that kills us? And I'm like, all of the above. Hello. One of these things does not necessarily preclude another. Like, if it's a virus that kicks it off, it might be nuclear war that ends it. You know what I mean? If it's a fucking famine or some kind of fucking food shortage or a power shortage or whatever that kicks it off, it might be fucking nukes that end it. Fuck, we could all be sitting here stroking off thinking about the ways that we're going to get to end ourselves while the universe is like, fucking, what? You thought you were going to get the privilege to fucking fuck things up to the point where you just literally couldn't live here anymore? Nope, here's a fucking comet. You know what I mean? That's the fun part about it. We're like, what? What is it, like 50,000 years overdue for a major meteor strike? Well, in something like 5 billion years, the sun is going to... So, I mean, one way or the other, we're getting scoured off of this goddamn fucking planet. One way or the other, and... Dude, this is totally and completely unscientific, but I think it's a cool idea. So what if, right, the sun, like, goes red giant or whatever, starts to burn out, and vents all these gases, right, into our solar system. And then Jupiter, because it's the biggest, most massive object left in the solar system, draws all those gases to it and becomes dense enough to become another star. You following me? That motherfucker lights up. And then all of a sudden, Earth has got another goddamn sun. Huh? I don't think that anything, I think everything about that is completely unscientific. But, like I said, it's fun. Fun to think about. We'd be too close. What if it's a smaller sun? Puts off less radiation, puts off less energy, so us being closer to it puts us right in the Goldilocks zone again? Huh? Huh? We're like, oh no, the sun burned out. And then all of a sudden Jupiter's like, I got you, fam. We're like, woo! Back up, sun. Won't you come? That's what we need to be doing, man. Dude, this is the most scientifically backed thing I've ever thought of in my life, dude. I'm basically Einstein at this point. You guys you literally witnessed a moment akin to Einstein going, E equals MC squared. Yes, yes. Backup sun, dude. Hashtag Jupiter backup sun. Paul Galileo Parky. Einstein was fucking, wasn't he German? He was, right? He was a German Jew. Yes? No? Maybe so? Austrian or some shit? Close enough. So that is what he would have sounded like. Jawohl. Eureka! I've done it. Isn't there like a recording of Einstein's voice? Einstein did indeed work on the Manhattan Project. Yes, he contributed. Like Mario, yeah. Paulaleo Parkalei, dude. Yeah. Backup son, dude. It was on November 6th, 2021, that the greatest thinker mankind ever produced, Paul Parky, sitting on his back porch, a humble little place. And he had what became humanity's greatest idea. Like, man, what if they made a backup sun out of Jupiter? That one idea would spark the empire of humanity that now spreads across the stars. It would suck to have to work on a new weapon. Why? You know how many nights I sat up thinking about what would happen if the sun disappeared? Not anymore, buddy. Backup sun. Hashtag Jupiter backup sun. We'll cross that fucking bridge when we come to it, but I am telling you, there are a number of other gas planets in our fucking solar system, okay? We got Jupiter, we got Saturn, and I believe Neptune, right? Neptune is a gas planet as well. Backup suns. Is Uranus a gas planet? I thought Uranus was a rocky body. But I guess I'm wrong. If you're interested in science, space-based channels, look up Riddle. Really interesting stuff. I don't need to. Jawan. I know everything there is to know about the goddamn fucking astrophysics. Ask me a question. Of all of human knowledge right here, ask me a question. I'll answer. Astrophysics, complex meta philosophical dialectics. I know it all. How far away is the Andromeda Galaxy? Hella far, man. A long fucking distance indeed. What's the meaning of life? I can't tell you that. I know it. But if I were to tell you that, it would be like me opening the fucking Ark of the Covenant and shit. And I'm not going through that just so you can know the meaning of life. What kind of cheese is the moon made of? Gruyere. It's actually a goat cheese. A lot of people don't know that. It's a Gruyere cheese, yeah. What happens if you fall in a black hole? Bro, if you fall in a black hole, you see flashbacks of your dead daughter back home. You go through a weird maze where you can see time from the fourth dimension. It's crazy, bro. You just have to be careful that you don't stop off on the planet that has a giant tidal wave every hour or so. I'm just letting you know, if you ever try and jump in a black hole, the closest one to us has you make a stop on a planet that has a big tidal wave that comes every hour. And you might think like, oh, what a placid little planet. Shall we land? And then you land and then you're like, fuck, why is the horizon growing? And there's a fucking wave, bro. So just avoid that. But yeah, your dead daughter comes back and communicates with you, and you get to look back over little moments in your life, but you can't interact with them, but you kind of can, and then you come out of it. Yeah, dude, you could totally make a movie out of it if people were smart like me, but most people don't understand these concepts. Most people don't get it. You know what I mean? Most people can't wrap the old noodle around something like I just told you guys, okay? So it's like, you don't look to Hollywood for this kind of information. You ain't gonna find it there. You need to talk to an expert. Like me. What's 3 times 6? 6 3 times. What is the perfect ratio of Lucky Charms to marshmallows to actual cereal? I see what you're saying. So you want a full 4-to-1 ratio. For every 4 pieces of cereal, there should be a mallow. Right now, your typical bag of Lucky Charms has a ratio of something like 20-to-1. That's unacceptable. 4-to-1. That's the golden mallow ratio. Are you taking disciples? What do you think I'm doing here? Okay? You are my disciples. Can't have all marshmallows, bro. Can't have all marshmallows. You are objectively wrong. And that's why I'm the smartest man that ever lived on the fucking planet that knows everything about everything, and why you don't know shit. Gotta have the crunch to balance the fucking sweetness, exactly. The meaning of life is to live happily, to fight your evils, to feel more happy. Wrong. If that were true, you would have just opened up Pandora's box and we'd all be fucking dead. Only I know that secret, and I'm not sharing it. Okay, what I had to go through to fucking get that knowledge is not worth just giving to you for free. Okay, you have to go on the fucking 7 vision quest. You have to open the 8 demon bag and face the horrors within. And only then, once you have sipped from the liquid, from the dark sarcophagus, will you truly know. You haven't earned it. What's in the box? Good question. You're asking about the movie Seven. At the end of the movie, there is a box that is delivered. The character played by Brad Pitt is summoned over to the area to look at the box, and he looks into it, but we as the audience never get to see what is in the box. However, if you are an observant person, you are told what is in the box by none other than the person who put it in the box. I envied his life. I envied his pretty wife, so I took her pretty head. So that's what's in the box. That's it. It's her head, okay? But is the cat in the box alive or dead? You're talking about Schrodinger's cat? It's in a quantum superposition. Don't you understand anything? The cat is neither alive nor dead. It is in a quantum superposition where it is both alive and dead. Every fucking simpleton knows this. Yeah, blowing minds, huh, Kevin? Blowing minds. But he opened the box. Well, then, once the box was opened, the cat is clearly dead. But when the box was closed, the cat existed in a quantum superposition where it was both alive and dead. Until observed, the cat is both dead and alive, period. And then once the cat was observed, it became dead. It's like, fuck, man. That was the second thing I learned after one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. If a tree falls in the woods and no one hears it, does it make a sound? Yes, because sound is not dependent upon an ear to be made. Sound, like most forms of energy, is a wave. This is the stupidest fucking conundrum question. It's literally like caveman bullshit. If something explodes, but there's not a stupid-ass human being with buck teeth around, does it make any noise? It's like, yes, noise is not dependent upon observation. Noise is a sound wave, okay? Thank you very much. Next question. The sound of one hand clapping. Next question. Have you ever had a pet fish? Yes. Next question. Why does water always find its level? Because it's a fluid. It's a fluid. That's why it always finds its level. I mean, come on, buddy. Did I get stung by a yellow jacket just now because God is mad at you? There is no God, Chelsea. You got stung by a yellow jacket just now, and I'm sorry, I'm giving direct and complete answers to every question tonight because I've just told everybody that I'm the smartest person that ever lived, and I have to prove it. The reason you got stung by a yellow jacket just now is because you live in shitfuck swamp, Louisiana. There's probably another fucking yellow jacket nest up in your chimney or some shit, or in one of the trees near you, because that's all that lives down there are animals that want to sting, bite, kill, and otherwise poison you. And you must run, Chelsea. You must run far away. Do erasers slowly sacrifice themselves for our mistakes? No. An eraser has no will. Come on. Come on. Steak sauce or barbecue sauce? Depends on the meal, man. What's with this false sauce dichotomy? It's still hot in Louisiana. That sucks. It finally broke here and like won't be coming back. But yeah, it held on well into fucking late October for us. It was really like probably the week of Halloween where it broke finally. And now we're actually, it's actually cool enough that I can do this, have myself a little fire, and it feels good. But I'm going to a place way fucking colder. Holy shit. I'm going to be freezing balls here pretty soon, y'all. I'm going to see Parka Paul. Was Annie truly okay? No, she was struck by a smooth criminal. You're not okay after you get struck by a smooth criminal. Because if you listen, Annie gives the answer. What if you say to somebody, "Are you okay?" and they say, "I don't know," that's them implicitly saying yes. So he says, "Annie, are you okay?" And she says, you can hear her in the background saying, "I don't know. I don't know." She's not okay. Annie is, in fact, not okay. Are you okay, Annie? You've been struck by a smooth criminal. There's a door to hell and a door to heaven. Both are identical and are each guarded by identical guards. One lies and the other speaks truth. You get to question one guard to discern the doors. So I ask, it doesn't matter, would he tell me that this is the right door? That's how you get through that one. So you got two guards, right? And one of them always tells the truth, and one of them always lies. So you just ask either one of them, would he tell me that this is the right door? If he says yes, then it has to be the other door, because if he's telling the truth, he would be lying, and if he's lying, he would be telling the truth. Would he tell me that this is the door to pick? Yes. I'm going in the other door. Doodly-doodly-doo. They should make a movie that has that in it, too. Once again, people don't have these high-level ideas. Super high-level ideas, sorry. You don't get it. All right. Let me try and explain it. Okay. You got one guard, and you got two guards, two doors. Each one of them stands in front of a door. You know only one thing. One guard always tells the truth, and one guard always lies. So, you choose either guard, doesn't matter, and you say, would the other guard tell me that this right here is the door to go through? If he says no, then he's either, and he's the liar, right? Then you should go through the other door. And if he says yes, and he's the liar, you should go through the other door. A mind reader versus someone who can see the future in a chess game? Who wins? The future guy. Because the future guy will be able to see every move. But then the mind reader will be able to see everything that he sees. Dun, 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 dun. It's a draw. How do you curve a bullet? You have to move your hand hella fast like this when you shoot it. And the bullet will go woo, 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 and go around a corner. Like a big parabolic arc as you fire it. Woo, 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 woo. That's how it works. And that's the way it goes. What's the worst fast food place you could ever eat at? The worst fast food place that you could ever eat at? The green burrito that's inside of Carl's Jr. It's not a very well-known restaurant, but if you've seen one, you'll know what I mean. And if you've ever eaten at one, you'll know what I mean. Don't ever get green burrito, okay? Let me just tell you right now. Gas station hot dogs aren't really fast food. They're on a lower tier. They're gas station food. Yeah, there's like a Carl's Jr. / they're like two restaurants, basically. You know how there's like a KFC Taco Bell sometimes? It's like that. You see them here on the West Coast. Carl's Jr. Green Burrito. And the green burrito menu is literal dog food. They just open up a can of Alpo in the back, and they put a fucking jalapeno pepper in it, and they serve it to you. Just like that. Arby's is a basic sandwich with a $20 price tag. I mean, you don't get the sandwich at Arby's, dumb fuck. You get ripped off. You get the fucking beef and cheddar at Arby's, and you walk out with like 3 of them and a bunch of Arby's sauce, and you go home and you thank me later. I just saved you a bunch of money. Yeah, you don't get their fucking deli sandwiches or whatever at Arby's. Fuck that. You get 3 beef and cheddars and a fistful of Arby's sauce, and you go to town. If you could combine 2 fast food restaurants like a Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, what would they be? Combine 2. Like make one where it like I could go and get both at one. I would like to see, damn, dude, a McDonald's crossed with like a fucking Rally's, where I could get like McDonald's burgers but Rally's fries. That's the one. Rally's can't make a fucking thing else, but them fries are goddamn crack. Their fry game is tip top. Man, you're not eating so many Arby's sauce, you're gonna poo yourself. Okay? You just want to put a liberal amount of Arby's sauce on your beef and cheddar. Well, that's what I've got for tonight. My phone's gonna die, so I'll see you later. Bye.